There shouldn't be no parties. Parties got to get done away with.
Yeah.
Everybody should be independent.
I actually want to talk about that because I put myself to have no political party, and when I went to vote, they were like, "Oh, do you still want to vote?" And I'm like, "Nigga, yeah, nigga, what the fuck? Why would I not want to vote?" Like, and then they made me do the affidavit vote, which was like a bunch of like mental gymnastics to be like, "All right, you're not part of a party, but like, what party are you a part of?" That's what it felt like. That shit is fucking weird, bro. I was just like, this is weird as fuck. I don't like this. And then the
Party
lady
system
just
got to
kept
get done
telling
away
me,
with.
she just kept telling me, make sure you bring your ballot back sealed, like, because we have to count those specifically. Who got the fireworks on deck?
I don't know, but it's over here.
Somebody fireworks going crazy.
Yeah, so it's over here.
The government fireworks.
Well, I swear to God, that's the boys' fireworks, bro.
Government issue.
All I know is that them fireworks, bro, is just like they just better this year. That's it. That's it, literally. Like I don't even think it's some government shit. I think it's just like some technology
2020,
shit.
man.
It's 2020. Niggas getting so much bread off unemployment. My nigga, when I tell you, one of these,
wait,
like,
did
when
you
I
just
tell
say niggas is using their unemployment on fireworks?
yeah,
bro, they are.
I had
Niggas
listen to me. I know like 7 niggas use their unemployment money to cop in bulk of fireworks to sell to the hood.
All right, listen to me. We're gonna take this to a totally ignorant place, bro. I got an amazing video this morning, and simply because I get so much money from unemployment and my actual job,
niggas insane.
I bought that woman Gucci slides just cause. So I know niggas is in the hood buying the most ignorant
fireworks,
shit,
the most craziest fireworks.
Cause, bro,
when I tell you, like, I had to ask, so I'm like, all right, enough of this me speculating shit. Let me just ask my niggas, and that's all I did. I just asked my nigga. I said, "Yo, where niggas getting these fireworks from, bro?" He said, "Niggas taking that bread, going to cop up and sell it to the hood." I'm like, "Oh, all right, no disrespect."
Yeah, bro, literally.
What that police ass question for?
I wrote on Twitter. Like, I'm not mad at the fireworks, but it's just an abundance. And then niggas thought I was with the government conspiracy, but I was like, nah. I was like, I don't want to straight up ask niggas where you getting your fireworks from. I'm not the police. That's a police ass question. Like, and then people was just like, niggas is going to NJ and PA. I was like, that makes sense. Niggas got unemployment. Niggas have money right now, and they not doing shit. Why would they not take that trip?
Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't share this shit. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, we do gotta share it. I put it in the chat already.
I shared it.
Is it on the haters world shit? Hold on.
Oh yeah, I'm about to right now.
Yeah.
God, I gotta Instagram this. Gotta social media this up.
Did y'all see this fucking Megan Thee Stallion, Eazy-E family beef shit going on, man?
I don't even think it's beef with Megan Thee Stallion. I think it's beef with the white people.
Yeah, it's beef with
the white people that own the Eazy-E families, like fucking licensing and shit.
That's facts.
It's white people, bro. Again, trying to divide us.
That's facts. It's pure facts.
Nah, but Eazy daughter didn't even really say nothing crazy about Megan. She just said like, "Nigga, I want to do shit with my dad's name too.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, I should be able to. I'm his fucking family."
Yeah, and that shit.
Which I agree with.
Like I would be angry, my nigga, if I woke up in the morning and somebody on my dad's sample rapping like that. Sucking dick in the morning while I'm yawning. Niggas don't want to hear that on that, my nigga. Niggas do not want to hear that on that, son. She can pack that up, bro.
I didn't even listen to it, to be honest.
I don't think she put it out yet. I think it's tomorrow.
All I know is I seen some type of twerking, and I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll probably listen.
I'm here for the twerk. I'm here for the twerk.
I was like, I feel like she probably about to drop visuals.
She's better off just twerking to the instrumental.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
I think I need 2 girlfriends.
Okay.
I think that's the life for me.
That's that unemployment talking, bro.
It's setting me up for the life that I'm supposed to live. So I'm fine with it. At the end of this shit, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? We live, so I probably shouldn't even say this, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck it, I'm gonna say this. Most black people that are getting unemployment right now, if they're getting like the pandemic shit plus like actual unemployment, like when this shit is over, like niggas is probably gonna get like upwards of like 20 bands plus from the government. When if it gets extended and all that shit.
Yeah, maybe more than that actually.
Maybe even more than that. Like yo, if you don't really like set yourself up to never be broke again, you probably, I don't want to say you deserve to be broke, but you need way more like financial literacy in your life.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because I think that to the point of financial literacy, right? Like a lot of people don't even know how to use their money. So, like I think you were thoughtful about whatever Gucci slides you bought earlier, so on and so forth. But if people buy too many Gucci slides, right?
You bought too many. Yo, listen, I made a couple, like, I walked out on a couple purchases. Like when I first got the lump sum, the first thing I did was I cleared like I cleared like 2 bands worth of debt. I just cleared that out the way. Like, all right, bet I can wild out now. I flipped like 2 bands, and then I spent like 2 bands. So I'm back to where I started.
Well, I mean, I think the key word is the flip, right? Like, so like, and that's another thing. People, regardless of whatever people find themselves vested in, you got to invest in something. You know what I mean? And that's inherently the problem because people can spend.
It's not even mad. It's not even mad. Flips out here right now with the world that we living in. Like,
I'm sure
a nigga can't even sports bet right now. Like that shit is killing me. And I mean, the way that the world is looking, like I'm probably not gonna be able to do this shit for a while because I don't know what y'all think. I mean, we could talk about this shit in second take for sure and a deeper, but I mean, this is actually probably a conversation for the whole show. But like, sports ain't coming back, not in 2020.
Not right now.
They try.
What's going on?
Baseball's coming back, no?
That bubble shit is stupid,
bro. Yo, bro, Fred, they are going to shut.
They gotta shut shit down, bro.
Down.
Even if it starts, it's gonna end up getting shut down.
Baseball ain't even talking about going into a bubble, bro. MLB not even talking about a bubble. The only people that's talking about a bubble is the NBA because the NBA has the least amount of players to deal with. But all these leagues need to be talking about a bubble at the end of the day, and they not. The NFL is acting like they're gonna be traveling. Wow. The MLB acting like they're gonna be traveling. That is ridiculous because the only place that is not going up right now is here.
Yeah, and it's about to. And well, I was gonna say this is a complete tangent, has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's me and Palm versus Colt and Trey, as the niggas who began attacked by y'all sisters and whatnot. And I
oh yeah, they don't want Fred. They don't want to smoke with me, son. They don't want to smoke with me.
They already put
Fred, like, you good though?
Yeah.
Like, you good?
You good though?
No, I'm just asking. No, Fred, like I just gotta ask. Like that's my bro.
Yo,
like
they had that nigga like the Vice documentary.
Fred,
Palm.
Every time Fred turned around, there was another tweet. Bow.
Fred, look, Fred, we gonna keep it all the way, man. They tried to jump my shorty, and when I came in, everybody was like, "Hold up, wait, relax," because I came in like sunning that video the other day, dropping bitches on their head.
That's not even true.
Yo, Trey, mind your business and shut the fuck up.
It's not even true. I was there.
Wait. So Trey and Colton got on the FaceTime with me, right? You know, we all never FaceTime, but we got on the FaceTime and shit, right?
Yeah.
And
I seen that shit. I was knocked out.
These niggas is like, hey, so look, that's our sister. So I'm like, well, I haven't.
Oh, wow, you trying to make us sound like punks? That's crazy. Right, continue with your lying ass story, my nigga.
I wish Paul was here because he's the more thoughtful person out the group, right?
Wow.
Yo, bro.
Who's ever said that? Who's ever said that? Palm has never said that.
Hold
Palm has never said that about himself.
Hold up. This nigga Trey is such a piece of shit. And we talk about what he actually sent the chat the day that the shit happened with me. For what he's saying right now. Nigga Trey was like, yo, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, do that.
Listen, stop lying on me on the internet. That's not what we gonna do, bro.
Niggas is lying, bro.
Y'all niggas got tweet jumped by 6 chicks under 5'7".
Maybe y'all, maybe. Y'all haven't thought about chilling out?
How about
y'all thought about that?
Now y'all ain't got fucking lip back to the goddamn group chat like, oh, you
nigga Trey was like, yo, nigga Trey was like, yo, Palm, go ahead, man. You got it. Go ahead.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, Palm, niggas hit me up with they fucking samurai swords and fucking Uzis and shit. Like, listen, bro. Like, we don't, bro. I was like, listen, bro, I'm not doing nothing. He was like, yo, listen, bro. I was like, where's Palm at? Where the fuck is Palm right now?
I was in a weed coma that night, man.
That shit had me dying. I came up on the timeline. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Bro, I swear to God, like when y'all started talking about it on the like in the group chat, I went on the timeline and seen it happen in real time, and then immediately was just like, nah, I'm gonna just back away.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Bro, the shit was mad funny. Like, I mean, somebody hit me up today. They was like, yo, like the same thing. Are you good? Like let me see. What's that?
Yo, you gotta just tell niggas like, yo,
that's me blowing the fire out.
You gotta just tell niggas. You gotta just tell niggas. Tell your boyfriend to tweet me, man. We can link up. We can link up in Temecula.
Nah, don't even tweet me, man. Cause
don't even do that, man.
I don't even need no fucking trials. No, I don't need no trail back to me, man. Listen, you got
none of that shit. What are you guys doing? None of that.
Yeah, what a fucking time.
That's why we come through and ask y'all if y'all okay, because like you just get jumped, bro. Like it's not worth it.
Mom, I cannot wait till something happens to these niggas. I literally can't wait. We gotta fucking.
Oh no! Shit has happened to me before. Niggas been quiet, and it's okay.
And it's okay. It's cool.
I did that shit by myself. You feel me,
Fred? They don't. Those
but niggas have my back.
Those are only Johns that fuck with me because they know I'm not gonna go jump all the way off the deep end with them. So
I don't
know. That's what I do. That's why I keep people off of me, bro. I jump off the deep end quick. Y'all know how I give it up.
Yeah, same like that nigga earlier, Cisco. He thought I was playing with him. I don't know that nigga like that. We used to follow each other back in the day. He cool with like Della and them. But like niggas we was talking about like how they only take the same 10 niggas and then put them on 10 different shows. Like niggas just play musical chairs with the same 10 niggas in media. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we was talking about that and he was like, oh, well, people, I put people on and niggas let me down. And it was like, shut the fuck up, dude. I don't know nobody you put on, my nigga. But anyway, I just sent the
Yeah, like
shit.
no, like nah. But I feel what you're saying because like at the same time, like to hear like the same 10 niggas is on media, and then your rebuttal be, well, I trusted 2 other niggas and they fucked up. Like that doesn't even sound like a good excuse.
It's not a good
Like,
excuse. So again, I just
so
I yawned. And then he responded like something, and I was like, man, I was like, oh, he was like, yeah, oh, and I'm like, head dog's gonna holler, like, what you still tweeting me for? He was like, oh, and opportunists will send emails, and I was like, dog, I never fucked with you like that to ever send you an email asking for anything. Now since you lying on my name, I'ma see you. And yeah, oh no, I'm just speaking in general. Well, don't play with me like that, motherfucker. You better specify.
speaking in general, why do people do that? Why would you have to speak in general in public in front of people like people don't make up their own narrative? Don't speak in general to me. You don't even know me. Why are you speaking in general to me? And not even in a good way. If you want to speak in general in a good way. Like that's it. Like we don't know each other, my nigga.
I'm gonna go ahead, Paul.
You speak in general when you at me. I'm gonna send you a in general suck my dick.
You ever think about like why people even speaking to me in public who don't know me? Like that's the shit that I kind of been thinking about.
I mean, it's people living in their own bubble, man.
Yeah.
Like people like literally live in a bubble where they feel like I should be able to say everything, but if you say something to me, like I should be able to be upset about it. It's like really like a bubble where like people don't have like that much self-awareness to even understand that like what you're saying, that you're just being loud right now. It doesn't even make sense. Or like it doesn't even count to the context of what I was talking about.
Exactly.
But people don't take that time to like listen or hear what the person is actually saying or even ask questions. Like people just going guns blazing.
Yo, so he said I should not have this on while I'm giving my kid this bath. I'm sorry, yo.
Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro.
What you saying?
But yeah.
Nah, I was saying like since most of this shit be happening on Twitter, like it's kind of like people can't read. Fuck here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
People can't read. They don't understand what words mean, like in conjunction with other words.
And it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. Did y'all see that?
In conjunction.
Yeah, I did see it.
Shit. Yeah, I see that.
Is that? I just learned that shit this week. I was so fucking mind blown.
That's like an American problem.
It really is.
What are y'all talking about?
You know what? It's not even only an American problem.
The Dunning-Kruger
effect.
Hold on. The Dunning-Kruger effect. You heard about that, Fred?
What is that?
All right. So it's a cognitive bias in which people with like low ability at a task overestimate their ability. And it's related to the cognitive bias of illusory superiority and comes from the inability of people to recognize their lack of ability. So
it's like Draymond Green.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like Trump, because Trump is dumb, but he's too dumb to know that he's dumb. You get what I'm saying?
But even that like comes from like conditioning and propaganda and shit like that. So it's not even only an American problem, because like even people in China that we know, like they have like, and Japan and all these places that we know that they have like high like technological prowess and they have like more infrastructure than people and shit, better at engineering. Like their government still pumps out crazy propaganda to keep them dumb enough to just keep being smart enough. It's weird as fuck, but like that's like a thing that niggas just keep pumping into us, bro. That like propaganda shit is crazy.
OD, bro. Like, OD. That's what like that Dunning-Kruger effect makes me so like more self-aware now, because I'm like, fuck, man.
But
I don't ever want to be too dumb to notice my dumbness, son.
I was just about to say, like, even like that shit is even worse than what you saying, Colt, because like if you that dumb, you can't even take in propaganda.
Word up.
Yo, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. Like, you won't even. Yeah, it's wicked.
You just hear certain words and it like triggers a certain emotion from you, and it's usually a bad emotion, and that's how like ignorant people move. Like they just hear a certain word and they like
and you probably not even taking in the word correctly because you probably think the wrong definition of it.
Facts.
Yeah, that shit.
But it's probably like that's like part of like, I mean, majority of the country, I believe, more than like 40%. I think it's even more than 50%. Like reads at like lower than a fourth grade level.
Yeah,
like a
lower
fourth grade
than
level
fourth
or
grade
below.
level.
So like that's a person can't even understand like a 6-syllable word, like or like 4-syllable word, like 5.
And that's not like the number of like people that like dropped out. You know what I'm saying? Like it was those are that's people
That's
that only
everybody.
read. It's literally,
Like literally
everybody.
everyone.
The averages of everybody in America, third grade.
Because then
We
even
couldn't even come together as a country to get to 12.
you know what's crazy is like even if you talk to a lot, like I talk to like y'all, I talk to a lot of different people about like just school, what we learned in school. I feel like collectively we all didn't learn shit really. Like a lot of the shit was us teaching ourselves stuff that we heard from somebody else, and then later on we were like, they were mad wrong. Like they were mad wrong.
Because school wasn't about education. School is more so about conditioning you to be
Following
a worker.
Conditioning,
conditioning you to get in line, conditioning you to be on time.
It's an 8-hour school day.
I was telling people
like it's an 8-hour work day.
I was like, you know what?
Sit at a desk for a prolonged time.
Is? You know what a test is? A test is I'm going to tell you this, and you have to remember this, and then you just have to remember everything I tell. It's an obedience test. Like every test is like kind of an obedience test. Like, are you gonna? And then that's why they're mad big on follow the rules. I used to remember like them being like, "Yo, follow the rules, follow the rules, follow the rules." If you don't follow the rules, even if you get all the answers right, like you're gonna get points off. And I used to think in my head, like, if I get all the answers right, but I don't follow the rules, how the fuck you're taking points off? That don't even make sense.
I just thought of something that's crazy, like to me personally. Like I say all the time, like a larger part of school that's more so bigger than like what you're learning or what they're regurgitating to you is the social aspect, learning how to interact with people, like engaging in shit with people socially, shit like that. And that shit is like, and I feel like it's only in like schools with like in black areas and black parts of the country and that are mostly black, like the social aspect of school is like shunned upon. Like they don't want us to really interact socially. They want us to fall in line and do what they want us to do. But if you go to like private school, a lot of schools in like that are whiter, these niggas got all kinds of social freedoms that are ridiculous. Like I don't know if y'all niggas remember that shit that came across the timeline one time with that school in Texas that has like the wildest food court. There's like a Chick-fil-A in they fucking
I did
school.
See that shit.
There's like mad fast food restaurants in they school, like that's their lunchroom type shit.
That shit is crazy because my homegirl was telling me that she was working at this school in like Pennsylvania, and it was like a boarding school. And she said like when she went in there and she was a sub, she was like that was like the easiest sub job because like all the basically the semester is really some self-sufficiency shit. So like all the kids like literally help each other with shit, and like you can be ahead, you can be behind. Like it's just that by the end of the year you have to finish this fucking. That shit was like mad crazy because it was just like, yo, they have a level of community that they would never give to Nick.
Yeah, that sounds like a Sudbury school. It's just like kids in the school from like kindergarten through 12th grade, and they don't. There's no real grade though. Like that's the age range from kindergarten to 12th grade, and everybody learns together at their own pace. And that's like the schooling that so those type of schools have like 90-something% graduation rates, and these kids go on to like Ivy League schools and some of the best colleges and shit, and there's no set curriculum. You learn at your pace.
Yeah, she was even telling me that these niggas was doing coding, and I just remember being like, "Oh, what the? Okay, that makes sense. They got money."
But like schools like that, I feel like that should be like the go-to like form of schooling for.
Yep.
But it can't be in a capitalistic society. You know what I mean?
It can't because it creates too many free thinkers. It creates too many people who want to think for themselves. Who want to do things at their own pace.
Outside of free thinkers, it creates too much equity, right? Like so, you know, people make money off of the fact that they are the only ones who have the understanding and ability to think and perceive things in a certain way.
Right.
Right. And that's not because they're special. It's because they have historically conditioned people to not be able to do so. It's to the point that which I was talking about earlier. So it's like even the school that you're talking about, I'm be honest, when I started at St. John's, I was in like honors programs and stuff like that before I got to school, whatever. When I started at St. John's, I didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. And I was like, oh, y'all had a much better education than we did. Like, niggas was doing shit that I was like, oh, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail out of these fucking classes and lose everything because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But it was designed that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I came when I got to St. John, I was lost, my nigga. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
As a smart nigga, I was super fucking lost. I just remember like going to certain classes and just being like, yo, like I went to Catholic school and I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about. Like my parents paid mad money out their pockets for me to get an education. I did good in Catholic school, and I get to fucking college, and I'm like sitting in these classes, and I'm passing, but it's just like barely passing, and it's just like, what the fuck are these people talking about? I just remember there was mad times I'd be in class talking to people next to me and shit, and being like, "You did this in high school?" And of course, white kids and shit, they're like, "Yeah, of course I did this in high school," and I'm just like, "Yeah."
I'm gonna sound ignorant. I'm gonna sound ignorant as hell right now. But school, like, never really, like, I don't know. And I never had a problem with it. I just hated it. Like, when
I didn't have a problem with school.
I dropped out of college with a 3.5 GPA. No bullshit. I just didn't like going. The shit was.
I hated class, like just actually sitting in class. That's the hard part for me. Like, if you make me sit down somewhere and learn something I don't want to learn, I'm not gonna pay attention. I'm not gonna learn. That's what I always did.
The difficult part.
Very mediocre through college. High school I did good, but that's only because I knew the shit they was doing already. Like, but for the most part, bro, I hated school because you just making me sit down and learn shit I don't want to learn.
And they're not even being interactive. And that was like one of my biggest problems because I just remember like going from St. John's and like I just had a bunch of like theology and random ass classes that like it's funny, right? Because like I already knew everything about the Bible because of just my Catholic upbringing. So like I was just maxed in theology. And I just remember there would be times I would question shit and like the fucking professor was a priest. I don't know what the priest's name was. I can't even remember his name, but I just remember I would always question everything he said. And then when I transferred out of there, I went to fucking Berkeley College in Manhattan, and then I was like just doing mad good. But then I remember every year, every month, every new semester, the tuition would go up. So I was just like, nah, I'm dropping out. I'm not staying in this bitch no more. Yeah, like, I think this is wild.
Y'all thinking like the 1500s and shit, like the Bible was like a New York Times bestseller?
Yeah, it was the York Times bestseller, the Yorkshire bestseller.
Yeah, Yorkshire bestseller.
I think I'm gonna Google this shit right now. Hold on.
You know what's crazy is like the Bible was lit, right? And like it was one of the bestsellers, but then there was a thing called the Crusades where these niggas came to with the fury and war. And then King James rewrote that bitch, and then it became the bestseller. Because guess what?
About to say, you think niggas was like? Do you think niggas was like in like ancient Starbucks, and they was sitting there like, have you read the Bible?
Wait, I got a fact for y'all.
Yeah.
The Bible is the best-selling book every single year.
What? This is bullshit.
No, it is. It is the best-selling book every
single year. That shit not even fire.
You don't even slap no more.
I believe you.
There is no.
That shit not even fire.
You know what's crazy about the Bible, right? That's like I always tell people. I was like, yo, bro, don't trust a book where there's no adaptation and like that shit is still the bestseller, bro. Like that's propaganda at that point, bro. Like they never made a part 2. And like that shit just keep riding. Y'all never made no changes. That's weird, bro. That's weird.
I'm gonna keep it a band with you.
Imagine if every law was the same, bro.
But think about how could you even write a Bible now? What would be the morals? Niggas, it would be in there like, thou shalt not retweet abusers.
Yeah.
Yo,
It will
the
also
Bible ain't
be
been
like
lit-
thou shall not have
Bible
the
ain't been lit since,
internet
like,
if you're from the inner city.
That ass.
the Bible ain't been lit since at least 1602.
It got some heat in there though. Don't get me wrong.
A couple of them stories is timeless. A couple of
The
them.
thing about the Bible
A
that
couple of them
the
stories
thing
is
that
timeless.
I feel about the Bible is like the
It's
King
a
James
it's a couple fire bars in there.
he had some bangers, right?
It got some bangers
But
in
the
that
thing
album,
about
bro.
the thing about the bangers in the Bible and like the Torah and all these books, like in my opinion, is like they got rid of all the real bangers. They was like, whoa, this is too much. We gotta
Yo,
get
listen,
this out of here.
That's why.
We gotta
That's why I
get
be
this out
trying.
of
Nigga
here.
said, does
That's
this
why I
chapter
be
say
trying to
think
tell
for
niggas.
yourself?
I be trying to tell niggas.
Does this chapter say think for yourself? Take it.
I be trying to tell niggas I want to learn Latin so I could hear the originals. The original.
Bro,
I wanna hear the original.
The
My-
original
my-
is
my
insane,
I
grand-
want to
bro.
hear the original.
Wait,
All of these
it's
shits
not
with
gonna
the
be in
sample.
Latin, though.
I don't want the sample.
It's not gonna be in Latin though. It's gonna be
It's
in
not
the
even gonna be in
African
Latin.
language it was in.
It's gonna be in some crazy yo, bro. That's why the Vatican is walled off, bro. They have all the real, like all the books they didn't burn is in there, dog.
Yo, listen,
I don't care.
don't tell nobody this, my nigga. I saw the Bible, nigga.
Yo, all right, no funny shit.
It was a nigga on the
No
cover
funny
of the
shit,
Bible
though.
with a fro. He was standing like this.
It's like,
No funny shit though. No
Swear
funny
to
shit
God.
though. This is how crazy religion is though. If you really think about it, a nigga read the Bible and was like, "This nigga got niggas believe in this." Oh no, we got remix.
we
this
can make
shit.
a religion out of this. We can
got-
make a
no,
religion out of this.
Niggas was like, they following this. We got remix this. We got remix
It's
this.
the remix, bro.
Oh yeah.
Nah,
It's the
like,
damn
I don't.
remix.
Nah, that's dead
Nigga
ass.
LeBron saw that album is like, nah, let's just do a little different.
So I know
I seen when you brought the harps in, but you should have brought the flutes.
niggas stupid. Wait, so like if you went to St. John's, niggas had to all take theology studies and shit,
Yeah.
right? Like freshman year, right?
Yeah.
That shit was
I remember
crazy.
being in that shit, and like I knew that there was different versions of the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you find out how much shit this nigga was like, nah, this don't make it. Nah, this
Yeah,
don't.
King James really was. Yo, he was really LeBron on the fast break when he was younger, pinning niggas shit off the backboard when they would be talking too much real shit. He was like, no,
Nigga it was like,
Nigga,
you know,
King James was that nigga in Nebraska, so that nigga walked out
he was.
the store. He was like, I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit. Eating the
Take that shit
banana,
out.
I don't like that shit at all.
I don't like that shit. I don't like that. I don't like that shit one bit.
If
Take
niggas
that
give
shit
I don't like
out.
niggas
that.
Drop it
hope
down
right
on
now.
them niggas.
Hold on, everybody be quiet. Do I hear hope in the room right now, motherfucker? Get this
Get that bitch out.
bitch out.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I really feel like I know we go mad deep into this, but I really feel like King James used to bring like random poor people into the room, and he would read them a part of the Bible, and he'd be like, "How
He was like, how that make you feel?
How does make you feel, right?" And when they according to how they answer, he like, "Burn that shit, burn that
Hold
shit."
on.
Burn
He
it.
be like, hold on, Michelangelo, take that out.
Take
Guard,
that out.
kill him.
Take that out. Hold on. This was the best question. that like made the whole thing pop. He was like to one of the people, "You think Jesus was black?"
Guard,
The dude was,
kill him.
"Guard, get him out of here."
Nigga said, is Jesus black?
let me ask
Is Jesus
me
black?
ask-
You got right now to respond. Too late.
Wait, let
Guard,
me ask you some shit, some real shit. If the world was to end right now, right? Like, let's say the shit was to end right now, and the only thing left was like Lord of the Rings or some shit, right? Would that become the Bible for the next niggas that come up? Like, yo,
bro,
it's gonna be
anything.
Harry Potter.
It's gonna be
Harry
something
Potter.
crazy.
Nah, Harry
It's gonna
Potter
be Harry
weak,
Potter.
man. Harry Potter
Harry-
fuck J.K. Rowling.
That's why it's gonna be Harry Potter. Bible week too, nigga.
I don't know what the word gonna be, but hopefully it's some anime shit, in my opinion.
I've been watching a lot of
This is
AI
the-
shit. That's what I need.
Gotta get crazy.
Everybody
We need
that have
we need the
access to AI
robotics,
shit,
nigga.
yeah,
we
we
need
need all
the
that.
robot arms and shit, nigga. We need that. We need that.
We
I was
need
watching Megalobots. That's my shit.
Ooh, that's my shit, nigga. That's
We
my
need
shit.
that shit. We
We need
need
that.
the exoskeletons to go crazy, nigga.
Hell yeah. Think of the dick punches with those. Dick just blow up.
Nah, but honestly, Fred, like to be 100% real, like that's just how all history goes. One nigga smarter than a whole bunch of other niggas, and he figures out if I say this, they might believe me. and then that's the belief.
Yeah,
That's how that works.
and think about the intelligence of the times. Niggas was like, "Yo, I know you my brother, but I see that goat you got over there. I want it. I'm gonna murder you." That was the level of intelligence that niggas was dealing with in the biblical
Hold on, but this was the counter. All right, you want to kill me for that goat? I will give you my wife in exchange. And this is how you know niggas wasn't smart at all. It was just like, I'll give you my wife and maybe my daughter, and don't kill my goat. And it's like, yo, bro, that's what y'all was on. That was how y'all brains thought back then. But you got to think, everything is made up, my nigga.
He's like, come on, man, I'm gonna go.
Mind you, this is a white man. This is a white man. This is a European.
Come on, I'm gonna go. Come on, you take the chicken. There's 2 chickens. Take the chickens.
I be thinking about this shit with albums, right? I be like, yo, so like, you know how already like you hear like newer shit, like I don't know, like a fire album, like, you know, like somebody got some shit, like, oh, you know that nigga had some shit, right? So do you think that the nigga who wrote the Bible, not the King James shit, the nigga who first wrote the Bible, finished that shit, and he was like, yeah, my nigga, I got some shit here. Yeah. I got some fucking smoke here, bro. Yeah.
That dude,
there was another nigga. There was another nigga in the room when he was like proofreading it and shit. He was like, nah, nigga, you trying to
but that nigga,
you trying to be greater than Jesus.
That nigga was angry as shit though, because if you read the Old Testament, that nigga was upset, bro. Oh, yeah. He was fucking upset. God was very vengeful, and God
nigga was like, war is peace, nigga. Like
the nigga, if we're gonna be honest though, in what testament is God not vengeful?
Right.
Like
the New Testament, apparently he's
I don't like talking bad about God.
You know what's crazy? It's like
I don't think it's talking bad. I think it's being honest. Like
one thing I will say,
son is handing out smoke.
One thing I will say, Palm, is significantly less smoke in the New Testament. Yeah. So it's like Palm Mark 2. Like Palm Mark 2.
He only smoked like a pack a day.
Nah, but you got to understand what he did at the beginning. Nigga was like, hellfire, brimstone.
Bro, this is an example.
He was dropping mixtape after mixtape after mixtape on these niggas, bro.
This is an example of God. Yo, you've been worshiping me for like 100 years, bro. Kill your son. Hold on, here's another one. Yo, bro, you've been like mad holding it down and crazy. Like, I'm gonna kill your family. I'm gonna make you have sex with your daughter. I'm gonna put you in a whale's mouth for like 40 days. And then after all of that, I know you lit, bro.
We just gonna ruin your life, baby. Listen,
but I know you lit after that.
Check me out.
Hold on. Check me out. These people is over here figuring out how to gamble. They selling shit in the market. They not even worshiping me. Fire and brimstone. We burning this whole bitch down. We gonna send crickets, fuck these niggas up. We gonna send fuck these niggas up.
The book of Job or Job, whatever you want.
Old Testament is crazy, boy.
That shit really one of the craziest stories I ever read in my life. And like just reading it, you really have to wonder like,
why you did this?
Is this nigga a torturer?
Did Job do something mad bad, bro? Like,
in my opinion, what did he
do to you?
In my opinion, Job was turned into a person, but it really means job. God just wasn't fucking with his job at the time.
Jobs. Yeah, that's a fact.
Ain't nobody say you was. Who told niggas it was Job? Who told niggas it was Job?
All right,
exactly.
This is the craziest shit, right? The worst nigga that you know, the worst nigga that God knows, came to God and was like, I want to fuck with him. And God looked at him and was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that nigga let him ruin his life.
Hold on. The worst nigga that you know pulled up to God on some Kobe shit, like, I want to be like you. And then God was on some Michael Jordan shit, like, fuck you, nigga. Go to hell.
Nigga, I was like, you my dick, nigga.
You want to be like me, nigga? Fuck out of here. Fuck is you talking about?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. The nigga said, but can you do this? You want to be like me?
Hold up, though.
You want to be like me?
Hold up, though. Is that what really happened, though?
I don't know. I was trying to finish my thought first.
I don't know. That's what Genesis says. Genesis literally says that Lucifer they say he was jealous. In my opinion, I really I don't fuck with Lucifer or the devil.
I think Michael Jordan see Kobe in the rib. He was like,
he wanted to be like God. God was like, oh, since you want to be like me, I got this perfect place for you. It's in the darkness. There you go. You me now. And then in my opinion, I was just like, damn, that's kind of petty, God. Like, that's super petty. Why would you do that? Like, and then after that, he been using him to tempt the humans. Cause like, remember, like I said, God was like, you fuck with me for 100 years, kill your son. And then right before he was killing your son, he was like, it's a prank, bro. It's a prank. Don't do it, bro. It's a prank. You love me. Sorry, not to be sacrilegious. Sorry, guys.
I feel like so remember when like Mace came back and he was like no longer murder Mace and shit, and he was like in that one shit. I feel like that was the New Testament. I feel like niggas was like, yo, you did a lot in this shit, bro. This shit is mad harsh. This shit is too much, bro. You did like, because if you think about it, the shit is too like. I mean, obviously it's two testaments, but like the same nigga couldn't have wrote both books, right? Like. You couldn't have been like, listen, I'm flooding y'all niggas, I'm airing y'all niggas out.
You figuring it out. But like, even with the old
way nicer nigga for New Testament.
The different books wasn't all written by the same person. It was written by different people. So it's like kind of like a collection of that. I would like to use parables because that's what I learned in fucking Catholic church, like parables. Like a lot of them are stories that you can take and learn from. So like at the end of the day, like a lot of them shits was like if J.K. Rowling and every other writer, Tom Clancy and all these niggas came together and wrote a book about American history, and then like American history gets wiped out, and then like 3 people are left, and they pick that book up and they're like, this is American history. That's like basically kind of what the Bible was. So they say it came through, God went through a lot of the writers. Like I got down to the real, like the Catholic Church literally saying like, oh yeah, like God didn't write the Bible, but the people that wrote the Bible, like they had God touch them, and they were writers, bro. Writers, they get inspiration. If God is inspiration, I get it. But they don't say God is inspiration. They say God is a person that like created everything. Like all science don't exist. Like it's just God. And like I get creators and shit and like all that stuff, but like at the same time, you can't just tell me, yo, this invisible force just exists and it invented everything. But at the same time, you can't really talk to him. I could talk to him, but I can't show you how I talk to him because he talks to me. And then it's just like, bro, I don't believe that. I can't believe that.
Yo, isn't Catholicism a form of Christianity?
Yeah. It's the dominant form of Christianity, and they're the dominant form. What you said?
I said you a theologian, my nigga. You over here,
bro. I was born in, like I did every sacrament. Like I did confirmation, my nigga. Like
So since it's a branch of Christianity.
Yeah, bro. And then like Martin Luther said this shit is bullshit.
So Christianity is Catholicism's dad.
Yeah.
So
they branched out.
So Catholicism telling you about Jesus and God is like you telling your mom a story about your granddad.
Yeah, basically. No, not even your granddad. Your great granddad.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, I think it is kind of crazy, but at the same time, like I do get the history story. Like they always like the only reason why like low key I could be a theologian, whatever you call that shit, is because like through my whole upbringing of like just the Catholic Church, like I've been in like a lot of positions where I learned like a lot about like their history and stuff, and I've questioned stuff to the point where priests have to kind of break it down to me where it's like it seems reasonable because like I've told the priest straight up, like I don't believe God wrote the Bible. Like there's no way God wrote the Bible. He was like, well, God went through people and like wrote the Bible and different people. And I was just like, bro, I was like, bro, that's called inspiration in my opinion. That's called inspiration. That's literally
God
called
don't work.
inspiration.
God don't work like
And
that.
like if people wrote the Bible and that's what everybody follows, and like you guys know that you guys are telling me that it's parables. A lot of them are parables, which are not things that probably really happen, but things that people can learn from. But you guys are letting people run with the idea that all these shits are real. You guys are frauds. And like
Hold on,
that's
though.
when I became like, yeah.
When are we gonna start the show?
Show started.
The show started, bro. We don't got the show started.
Copy.
All right, let's go to the next topic, I guess, because we don't want to talk about this no more.
Wait, what happened?
Nah, I was confused. I ain't know.
No, the show started. The chat's going lit. They talking about it. They said no, but like, oh, okay, but yeah, that Catholic stuff, that institutionalized racism, institutionalized religion is not a good thing, especially because Christianity comes from a place where it's like fully embracing capitalism to save people. And capitalism to save people is so insane to me. To be like, to get to heaven, you have to not only follow these rules, but give 10% of your income, like, to the church as tithes. Like, that's fucking. And then, like, and outside of the Catholic Church, it's even crazier because, like, people would just be like, yo, just, you got to give as much bread as possible to the church. So it's just like all religion, they fully embrace that capitalism. And
Oh yeah,
that's why
we see the fucking buildings in fucking Europe. Look at that shit.
Vatican is a gold city, bro. It's a golden city. You know where all that gold comes from? The Crusades, where they fucking stole shit from people and burned their history and used the Knights of the Templar, aka the Nazis. Hey guys, we could go real deep if we want to, but I might stop.
Colton, I'm not gonna front. Can I keep it all the way at band with you? You should teach the fucking class, bro. Like I'm sitting here. If I'm keeping it all the way at band, I'm like, we talk about a lot of shit on here. But I'm like, Colton really knows some shit about this shit, man. Like you you talk about tithes and fucking sacraments and shit, bro.
I've been through all of that stuff, and like honestly, at the end of the day, like I respect everyone's religious beliefs and prayer and like whoever they believe is a creator and like all that stuff. But if your religion like literally like be like no to shit that's like actual regular stuff that doesn't harm anything that has to do with them, I believe that you're pushing a lot of weird agendas. So I truly 100% believe that like Catholicism, Christianity really pushes that like kind of conservative agenda, and they make a lot of money through that conservative agenda. Because even what we talk,
I'll even take it like this is not even no bias shit, because I feel the same way about all organized religion. Like I converted from Christianity. I grew up in the church. So I do have a strong belief in God, but not Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't worship Jesus. That's not it. And I think it just gets too, for me, it got too confusing, one, and I just stopped feeling fulfilled, and it didn't feel genuine anymore. Just being in church, you know what I mean? Like it just didn't feel,
I understand.
It didn't feel right. Like it was like, all right, you know what I mean? We clock in here once a week and then we just go about our lives, you know what I'm saying? And I just decided like my relationship with God is probably more important than, spirits. My relationship with God is probably more important than like just having one religion. But I converted to Islam just because it was just the closest to what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? And but the way I feel the same way about the books. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason.
Yeah.
My own grandfather moved to Egypt, Morocco to study the actual translations of the Quran. So that exists in Islam as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's this this critique kind of applies across the board, to where it's just that when you see religion and then you see the state of the country, it's like, and then you see that, you know what I'm saying, like the waging war on Muslim nations. You get what I'm saying? You got this all comes from, you know what I'm saying, this like the Crusades are still happening.
Still to this day. And
It's
it's
not
like
that it's not
it's
happening. You
not
know what I mean?
only like just Catholic, everybody's doing it to each other because we even talk about Palestine and like Jerusalem. You get what I'm saying? Like even with the different religions, like they all come from a state of like people colonizing other places with religion.
Well,
And
and to add on to that, one of those places is ancient Kemet. If you look at the teachings of ancient Kemet, the Meta Neter and things of that nature, you will be mind blown at how those
yeah,
pillars and those stories are so similar to every single religion. You get what I'm saying? Like the
because
ten.
they took it. Like they
Mhm.
basically the Moors taught a lot of these people how to do regular
The Hebrew
things like
Israelites as well.
and like
The
it's
Hebrew
just
Israelites
crazy
as
how
well,
like
though.
when you look throughout history and like I always say like the winner of the war gets to write history. So like
Yeah.
that's why the
Mhm.
church and the state is so powerful like in our government right now because at the end of the day like when the crusades happened and then everything else popped off and then guns got introduced and then democracy got introduced, what was the first thing that they used to make sure that a lot of these systemic things kept happening? Was Christianity, was like Catholicism. Like if you read, there's a book called How the Irish Became White, and it dead ass talks about how the Vatican and Catholicism, when people did the Great Migration to the north, like a lot of Irish and Italian immigrants came to the north, and a lot of like the black people from the south went to the north. We all lived together in those ghettos that everybody called it, and at some point after all the crazy shit happened with prohibition and all the like the crime that like kept trickling down and shit, like at some point Catholicism became like the point of what democracy was in America, and then they made those immigrants choose whether you're going to be Italian or Irish or you're going to be an American white person. So that's technically where whiteness comes from. It's like a thing that branched off from institutionalized religion.
Yeah.
So like
and just to move the conversation forward, like that's what a lot of people. That's what pisses me off about white people. They're like, oh, y'all always make things a race thing. Like y'all created this.
Yo,
that's where
Y'all
redlining
created
comes
this.
from. It comes from
yo,
when
Y'all
these
literally
niggas, you
created
just
this.
bust my head. You just
That's what
bust my
redlining
head.
You
'cause
can't tell me I'm making this about race when you literally created white as a race and you had a draft of which races you wanted to be part of this white, and
like
everything
hold on
else was
before,
black.
just to like add on to the point that I just made, a point in Chicago that was one of the most concentrated areas where a lot of the Italian and Irish people went to, and America made a lot of laws where they said if you're Caucasian you can own places here, and that's how they like basically cut down a lot of like the racism to European immigrants. And European immigrants became Catholic and shit, and then they end up becoming Caucasian, and that was the way that they were able to buy into neighborhoods into America.
And
And that's why a lot of
America gave loans. So like America was like, all right, we giving out loans for land and shit like this. If you're white, Caucasian, you get this loan. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like, all right, we're gonna draft them, we're gonna draft them. Now everybody gets this loan for land. So when you
this is the crazy
when niggas think about when niggas like put this whole shit in perspective, like this was created literally step by step by Caucasian people. Look, the creation of white wasn't a thing. There was I'm European, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Separate communities. They made white a thing so they could have the upper hand, and gave niggas money so that they could have the upper hand. This is literally what happened. Redlining. You talking about redlining too. That was it.
Yeah, because white became a status symbol, where Caucasian became a status symbol, where it was like one of those things where like if you were like we call European white people, but like they weren't called white people during the Great Migration.
Oh no,
nigga. Like they didn't.
They was niggas
with European immigrants. You get what? That's why they had to live in the ghettos with us, but it didn't stop them from treating us like shit when they lived with us. You get what I'm saying? Because they realized if I adopt this Caucasian fucking mind state, or if I adopt being Caucasian, I'm able to buy land in America. I'm able to have and that's where even all that American dream land of opportunity shit comes from. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, like if you come here and you're Caucasian, like it was literally niggas was already here. Niggas, think of how crazy this shit. Niggas was already here. They said, listen, if you migrate here and you identify as white, you get land, homes, this. It was already niggas here. They didn't do that for us.
And they already put the laws into place that made
Mhm.
sure that we couldn't get certain shit. And that's where redlining comes from. Because it was just like there were specific neighborhoods where they were keeping out European immigrants. And then when they realized that, like, oh shit, these people can identify as Caucasian white people, people would think we stopped discriminating if we stopped discriminating against the people that look like us.
Mhm.
Yeah, this
And
shit
that's
just
why they
bust
let
my
them.
head, right? Because I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, yo, who started like real, actual street activity?
Mhm.
Mhm,
And that was Catholics and Italians.
Yeah.
mhm. And Irish.
They-
And don't forget the
and-
Irish.
I mean, Irish and Italians.
Mhm.
They started street shit.
Organized
They
street, and that
started
taught it to us.
Organized street shit. They started that, and as they did it, niggas. The
Learn.
only laws that got created for them niggas to get in trouble for organized street crime was the RICO, which didn't get created until like the 80s,
80s.
I believe.
Yeah, it
Like
was
70s, 80s.
So this laws was like the 70s, 80s, and it was created primarily for Black and Latino during the crack epidemic to try to pull out more people who were selling crack cocaine, so on and so forth. But organized crime, for that, like you said, organized crime was mastered by the Italians and the Irish, and so funny that the reality of it is, even in our widespread media, they build it up and they romanticize it.
Glorify
Right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
like
beautiful to them.
New York and stuff like that, right? And that's just what it actually is. You know, these are people who were involved in politics, so on and so forth. Like Boss Tweed, who was, you know, the mayor of New York, so on and so forth. He was in with the gangs, you know, like.
But here's the real head buster, right? The number one head buster in this whole shit is like prohibition only ended because the most rich people were the mobsters. Like literally they had to end that shit because mobsters was making so much money over under those underground clubs that like they were just like, and they had so much
Not even
influence
just
and power
mobsters though.
and
Us
influence.
too.
Yeah, us
Yeah,
too.
also-
Yeah. We was
Us
us
too.
too.
Because we was
Because-
killing in the underground.
Hold on. That's why I was gonna also say, like, if we gonna be real, there was a kind of a symbiotic relationship between like the mob and black people, because around that time, like the mob in Prohibition were the first people to let jazz artists that were black people perform in the speakeasies, that which became like basically what bars and clubs are.
I mean, keep it a
So-
band. If anybody ever seen the movie Harlem Nights, it's not based on a true story, but that was real shit.
That's real shit.
That was
You get what I'm
real
saying?
shit.
It's
that was
real
going
shit.
on.
Bumpy Johnson,
So,
Frank
like-
Lucas, all them niggas, they
So,
was
like,
they was taught by
Real
even,
those
shit
like,
going
niggas.
on.
So like even with Palm bringing that up, like that was like a good thing, because I was thinking about that too, because I was like, yo, honestly, how can you put us in a ghetto, like in a fucking concentrated area with European immigrants that are getting away with very crazy crimes and not expect us to somehow adopt that shit to not be victims? So it's like everything is systemic. Like everything is fucking systemic. Like all
That's
this
a
shit was systemic. Like even the red line.
I'm
The
gonna
red
talk
line
about
was the
something
way.
else after this too.
But like the red line was the way to get people to divide, because at the end of the day, if everybody figure like on some Fred Hampton shit, if everybody figures out the working class are the people getting fucked, and we have to all get together no matter what color we are, then the fucking 1% are fucked.
Fuck.
Like, so, but again, like we was talking about the Kruger effect, is that what it's called? The
Dunning-Kruger effect. I wonder if he's related to
Dunning-Kruger
Freddie, or if he knows
effect.
Freddie.
No, yeah, but like, but the Dunning-Kruger effect is like really like some shit that like keep people dumb. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like sometimes propaganda could be as simple as the show Cops.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
it doesn't really keep them dumb though, because the effect is literally because they
are dumb. Yeah, it's not.
They
It's
are.
not like
Yeah.
somebody
That's a fact.
imposes that on somebody. It's you imposing
right.
that on yourself with your lack of knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So now,
That's a fact.
so for example, the crazy part was this is the example. So they put two squares, right? So they put two squares. One square was like, it was a smaller square, and they will say, and this is the one that was affected by the Dunning-Kruger effect. He believes that he knows 90% of photography, right? Because this is what he knows in his limited field. The expert has a vast field of experience, but he will only say that he knows 70% because he knows the vastness of
Yeah,
what
how
photography
crazy
is.
it is.
You get
The
what I'm
scope,
saying?
the bigger picture. It's a
Exactly.
bigger picture type of thing.
Yes,
And I feel
exactly.
like that's like a thing that like and this can all go back to the education system. The education system don't teach us the bigger picture. They just teach us how to work within the system.
Mhm.
Like if they taught us the bigger picture, like a lot of people would realize that like the things that we argue about, like the most simple example is our favorite artist. Like somebody calls out our favorite artist and we get tight about it and we fucking yell at that person for calling out our, what have you done? But like, that's a good question because that person that just called them out is not in the public eye really doing anything crazy.
Mhm.
And like asking them what if they're done is a valid question, but it has nothing to do with the question that they asked.
Right.
So I feel like when people are crazy.
It's just like on Twitter when
nigga-
you see people having medical arguments with doctors and they're not doctors.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So
Yeah,
somebody
bro.
with expertise will doubt their abilities more than somebody with no expertise. That's the wild part.
The crazy shit, you were speaking about this shit the other day too.
Mhm.
You said some shit about this the other day about like people will tell me I'm smart and I disagree with them because
Yeah.
I know I don't know everything.
I don't know
Like
everything.
I don't know everything that I could know. So yeah, I might know some stuff, but there's more stuff out there I can know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
I'm not as smart as you think I am.
Yeah,
That's a
I
fact.
always I tell people that too because I've been getting a lot of like hit ups for like speaking engagements, and it's like, yo, my expertise is Black liberation, bro. I do not know that in depth to even have a conversation. Like I know what I know about it, but I don't know if it's enough to have a conversation. Somebody else who don't know as much as me, being that I know the vast, you know what I'm saying, conversation around it, I know that I don't have a grasp on it. Somebody that don't know, just know what they know, and they know this little kernel right here, and they know 90% of this kernel. They're like, yeah, I know everything.
Yeah, but like one thing I will say about like the way that what you guys both explained is like that makes you smart because I do believe that smart people are the people that know that they don't know everything and are open to actually have dialogue, listen, change, grow. Like I feel like that's what makes people smart. Like there's a lot of people that like go around and be like, oh, here's the biggest example that I hate, but I get why people say it. Like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's smart. Ben Shapiro's not smart.
Mm-mm.
All he does is a bunch of tactics that kind of manipulate people to think that he's smart.
Yeah.
Like if people are not open to hear and listen to other like points, like you said, it just becomes that effect where like the 90% of shit that they know is why they feel like they're smart.
Right.
But if they realize that there's like fucking like a actual like 40% that they don't know, their brain, like just their mind could expand.
Yeah,
and like a lot of people don't want to do that.
And I'm gonna use this to transition into my next shift, and I think it's important. I think that's the issue with people who participate in diaspora wars, and when you see people saying like, "Oh, the African Americans," "Oh, it's the Africans," da da da, and it's like, y'all sample size is social media. So when you talk Africa, let me put this in perspective to you. When you talk Africans and whatever African Americans, whoever's saying the most offensive shit, right? You are privileged to have internet access, right? So you're using the most privileged people as your sample size when the majority of a continent does not have Wi-Fi all day, every day, like you do, right? So for you to turn on African Americans or turn on Africans or turn on Caribbeans because of what people with access to internet have to say, you are not grasping the full picture, and you look very foolish because you don't know the vastness of this issue. Because you have to understand colonization and why people say the stupid shit that they say. If they are being divisive, that is an effect of colonization. Period. Because anybody that understands what Pan-Africanism is, or who really understands what Pan-Africanism is, they're not going to have a diaspora war, even if somebody says something offensive, because they understand what has happened to these people to cause them to think that way. And now we have to find out, all right, where are the people on the ground in those neighborhoods actually feeling, actually thinking? Because it's like, I'll get on Twitter, right? And this is the perfect example because it's lived experience. I'll get on Twitter and it'll be the South African Twitter saying some real wild shit, off the wall shit. And I'm like, South African Twitter is bugged out. But going to South Africa and going to the neighborhoods and being involved in the community, you will never hear those opinions.
Yeah.
For example, they are organizing out there right now. I have the video. I'll find the video for you guys and retweet it again, right? In most African nations, not most, I'm not going to say most because I don't know if it's most, but the African nations that I've spoken to as a Pan-African, because I build those relationships, they're saying, look, what we want to do is build a home for Americans, our Black American brothers and sisters here. You know what I'm saying? So in South Africa's case, they just got past apartheid and now they have land to spare and the government has to assist them. They have to assist them. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. They have to assist them and they have to give back their land and the goods back to the people. So now the people are working on being in charge of these things and making sure that the entities that owned them before don't take their shit and bounce. Right? So now they're building infrastructure so they can, one, build their country and also build land for African Americans to come and live. Right? But you'll never hear that on Twitter. You will never hear that on Facebook. You will never hear that anywhere because they don't promote that. It's done purposely that we don't understand our bond with our African brothers and sisters on the ground. Because we're so focused on these social media, having these conversations, but only in this little social media bubble. And you have to understand if that's where you're getting your discourse from, it's not the full discourse.
I need people to understand what you're saying. The amount of people, there are 328.2 million people in the United States of America. There are 330 million worldwide monthly users of Twitter. There are 125 million worldwide daily users of Twitter. You are getting opinions from the smallest sample size of people in the world.
In the world, bro.
And you know what's actually, just to piggyback off that, which is mad funny. We always make fun of Facebook, but they have like a bigger sample size, and that's why we could see so many like wild, crazy opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like when we think about numbers and statistics, like people always try to bring up the 1350 shit, like about Black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't take into account that like white men commit the most violent crimes, like just period, because like their number is vast.
Right.
But it's like that's not gonna be a talking point for people that want you to look down on Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I feel like all that shit is like, again, the small sample size ends up making shit divisive for the same people that y'all are saying that don't have that information.
You are absolutely correct about Facebook. I did not even know those numbers were that ridiculously crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say an opinion on Facebook is more solid with a global outside opinion than an opinion on Twitter.
Right.
Twitter is literally just your little brother who's more popular than you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he's the one that you want to hear from.
Hold on. He's not even more popular
than
you. He's just lit. He's not.
You just want to hear from him.
Popular than you.
You just want to hear from him.
That is exactly.
You just want to hear from him.
You put that exactly correctly, because you Facebook being the older brother is 2.6 billion monthly active users, 1.73 billion daily active users. You're getting an opinion from at least, I want to say, what is that like I don't know what the percentage to put on it, because globally we had like almost 8 billion people. So you're getting an opinion from like a good almost 10%.
15, 20 maybe?
More than that?
Yeah,
A
because if
good
it's 1.7
percentage of
billion out of
people,
a
8,
good percentage.
because if it's
Yeah.
if it's
That's
1
almost 2
point
billion.
something out
Let's
of
say 2
8,
billion.
But again,
so 2
people, but
billion,
like,
so it's
out of
about
8.
25%, not
but like
25%,
what
but at
y'all,
least 15 to 20%, definitely.
but like
Yeah,
what
I'd
y'all
say
are
that's a
saying is
better.
like,
I'd say that's a better
bro,
universe
yeah.
of opinion than Twitter.
Right.
Facts. So that's why I'm saying like people don't realize the gauge of how numbers work. Like people see Twitter
Also,
and like, yeah,
also, I'd say the opinions on Facebook more so fall in line with reality,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
like the reality that we live.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Twitter is the social media platform where people are way more liberal.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a out of the box look at life and shit like that. And Facebook is more regular, regular,
Regular people,
fucking make America
everyday
great again
average
type
people.
of
Yeah,
yeah,
it's average people,
regular
regular
shit.
people, real shit. And then another thing is it's so ignorant to partake in these conversations because here's what I don't like about niggas. Here's what I don't like about niggas. And I'll tell you. Niggas will say it's a gay agenda, it's a this agenda, and whatever this agenda is, whatever that agenda is, but don't see the agendas and having divisive conversations. Like, oh, somebody saying somebody, oh no, niggas, that's divisive. No, that's divisive when it becomes all Black Lives Matter. We know that, oh, that's divisive when people try to make it about them. Da, da, da. But when it's time to argue with your fellow man and fellow brother, whether they be from Africa or the Caribbean or America, you down. Now this is
yeah.
not divisive and it's good for you to do. Now it's lit for you to do it. And that's what I don't like about niggas. Like, it's smart people I see and people I fuck with who sit there and talk shit about Africans and African Americans. I see it on both sides. So for me, it's like, look, if this how y'all think, y'all niggas can never ever be around me because I'm gonna call y'all stupid. Like, you're literally stupid if you're gonna use if you're going to allow a social media platform to turn you against your people because of this small sample size of people saying stupid shit. I can't deal with
especially
people
with
like that.
yeah. Nah, it's a fact, especially with the
I feel-
times that's happening right now. Because like my nigga, like we have a bigger enemy, we have bigger fish to fry. Like literally, we have bigger fish to fry. So it's like one of those things where like,
I feel like this is in line with what we talking about. Like, I tweeted this, and I'm gonna say it again here. Y'all are making a mockery of Breonna Taylor's name.
All right, wait. That's a whole different topic. That's a different
She's
topic.
not.
That's a
She's
different
not a
That's a
Bible
different topic.
woman.
Let's save that. Let's
That's a
save that
different
one because
topic.
she
Let's
deserves
save
her own time. She deserves her own
Yeah, it's a
time.
fact.
We can get into it.
But to the point that y'all are making, though, I feel as though in that, though, you got to realize that's also white supremacy.
Right.
A lot of
Exactly.
people who are talking about
And Jim Crow.
a lot of people who are talking about Africa because they see some shit on Twitter have never been outside of New York, North Carolina, and Virginia, right? And that's just the reality of it. So like I used to get mad about shit that I would see. Like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Not even just about people on the home continent, but people in other fucking states. Oh, niggas don't do this and that third. Have you ever been to Detroit? You ever met niggas from Detroit? Have you ever been to LA? This and that third? Like, you know, like people be like, oh, we're not a monolith, but then be quick to make us monolithic, right? Because people don't understand that there is more of a spectrum of us than probably any culture or any group in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it's like in what we have these big egos to where in anything that happens, everybody feels they need to be centered in this. When it's all of us as a people that are centered.
When they are centered.
When they are,
We are
there's you're excluding yourself. You get what I'm saying? You're excluding yourself. And if we want to address issues within the community, that's different. That's different. That's completely different than saying, "Oh, I'm not part of this black movement because I feel we have issues." But we have issues, but we're black people, so we have to fix the issues, right?
Especially amongst ourselves. And I feel like I feel like I've spoken about this before, but I feel like sometimes we don't realize that we're using oppressive tactics against our oppressors. Like our oppressors did the same shit where it's like they try to make us feel bad for not doing something, or they try to make us feel bad. Like, and like, I do get pressure because pressure needs to be had, because like there's a lot of people that's not fucking listening. But the people that are listening, you can't try to like beat that shit into their head. Like you can, but like if they fucking try to fight back, like you have to realize that's why they fought back. And that's why like leading with grace again, which is always, I feel like comes up every episode, but like you have to lead with grace. Like always, everyone has to lead with grace.
Always,
like,
because
always.
If somebody says some ignorant shit and you attack them in a certain way, it's not going to make them learn. And I had to learn this the hard way. Like, just because you attack them doesn't mean you're teaching them anything. If anything, y'all are just doing this. It's your ego versus their ego, and y'all doing this. That's all that's happening here. So we need to stop doing the bullshit and actually look for solutions and look to build. Niggas just want to be right all the time. And it's just fucking annoying that nothing can get solved because everybody wants to have the right opinions on a fucking social media app.
Yeah.
This is real life for some people. And it's like, y'all niggas got to wake up. Y'all niggas got to wake up. Like, get the fuck out of your fucking bubbles and understand there's a world here. There's a complete and whole vast world that we live on. It's a planet called Earth. It's not a planet called Twitter.
And then even with that,
Earth 729.
But even like with shit like that, like bro, like I feel like, and this will probably go into the next topic, but like I feel like there's respectability politics, and then there's knowing when there's time to do certain shit and when there's time to not do certain shit.
Right.
And I feel like certain jokes are always jokes, but my nigga, in 2020 where shit is like real. Like, we got to realize certain shit is not jokes. Certain shit is not fucking funny. Certain shit is not, like, viral worthy. Like,
and certain shit, you're being part of the problem. And that's
being part of the problem. So it's just like, I guess we can go into the next topic. Palm brought it up earlier, but I guess you could talk about it. The Breonna Taylor thing.
Stop playing with Breonna Taylor fucking name, man. She was murdered. She's not a viral moment. She's not a meme. She was a whole young woman who lost her life for no fucking reason at the hands of people who are sworn to protect all of us. She's not a fucking she's not, her name is not supposed to be fucking shrunken and put on Rihanna's ass. Her name is not supposed to be the answer to a fucking basic question. Like, if you want to say that you want the officers arrested, say that shit. But don't make a joke of her shit.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you think you're doing, you're making a joke of her shit.
Yeah.
And I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
That shit makes me feel very uncomfortable because that is some fucking real new age, new generation weirdo shit. And I just can't get with it. I don't care how viral your tweet goes. I don't care. That shit is weird.
And this is what was the glaring, like, I seen it before it started to get out of hand, and I said it before, but I think it probably just went over niggas' heads. But if you cared about actually getting justice for Breonna Taylor, you wouldn't be on social media yelling that nobody's talking about Breonna Taylor when there's people in her hometown organizing. Her family is organizing.
You can look that up. You can find that information.
You can look that up and find that information.
You can sign petitions. You can do a lot of things.
There's so much to do, but hold on, but like people make it about them and they try to pretend that it's for something else, but the intent is so blatant. Like, you're making it about you. This is about you. This isn't about her, because if it was about her, you would be pointing people to the right places in order to get people to talk about it more, in order to get support for the family, in order to get support for building her name. But you're making memes because it's about you. It's not because it's the perversion of awareness. That's all it is. Niggas want to use awareness, but it's really about them posturing and using this to make themselves look good.
Oh, that's definitely.
We're not even. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was
just gonna. Go ahead. I was gonna say something, Matt. Go ahead, Fred.
I was gonna say that's definitely it. I think that, Trey, you speaking real shit, right? Because I'm seeing that people realize that mentioning Breonna Taylor, mentioning Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, so on and so forth, can get this shit viral, right? Like so on and so forth. It can get you viral. And that's why now I've seen people making websites, t-shirts,
hats.
Yeah, all this like Palm said earlier, and I was, I'm whatever, but like Palm said earlier, it's like y'all are making a mockery of her name, right? I've seen memes that are like, oh, like even now the thing is like people are being clever or like think they're being clever. They'll have these interesting ways of being like, what hasn't happened today? Breonna Taylor's murderers haven't been arrested. They'll put it on. I'm like, y'all are fucking stupid, right? Like, and like Colton said, people are raising money. And you said people are mobilizing. Her family is organizing. That's why for me, I'm like, look, I have a fucking platform. We all have platforms. I'm gonna give you the fucking numbers to call and the GoFundMe to donate to, and how to reach
email.
Right.
Like,
here's everybody to reach out to. Here's how you can donate, and here's how you can help them organize. That's it. Like you trying to monopolize.
Right.
In reality, when you are on your fucking timeline complaining that you don't see anybody's name, you're complaining that 125 million daily active fucking users
talk about it. It goes right back to
when there are
son.
7.8 billion people in the fucking world. That's fucking dumb. You're an idiot.
Right. And it's like we wait.
And
so
honestly,
much time.
The only way you're not an idiot is if you're directly speaking to your circle.
Yep.
Like if all the people that you follow are not doing shit and you're telling them do shit, then you're not being an idiot. Like just because I know people like to take shit out of context, but at the end of the day, like if you have to just constantly yell at your followers, like why the fuck do y'all not care? You probably need new followers. You probably need to not follow those people.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, you're an idiot. If you are fucking out there yelling any of that shit, you're an idiot. If you need fucking people behind you to stand for something, you're a fucking idiot. Nobody has to stand behind me for me to stand on what I believe in.
That's a fact, though.
I don't need nobody to stand in what I'm standing in.
I can fuck with that.
I get what you're saying.
If you need other niggas to be active for you to be active, I don't need your activity. Keep that shit.
That's a fact. Because there's other things you could do. Because you don't have to like always be that like super 100% active person at all times, because there's no human being that's like that. Malcolm X wasn't like that. Like Kwame Ture wasn't like that.
You know what it is, bro? You know what it is, bro? You know what it is? A lot of people think the work is the internet. Like that's what people think the work is. Like if you get on social media, you're doing the work. Let me tell you something. Regardless of what I tell y'all on social media, what videos I post, I'm not doing the work because that's not always going to reach the streets. That's not always going to reach the people that need to see it. You get what I'm saying? Sure, people on social media need to see it. That's facts. But that's not the work. It's part of the work, and it's a piece of what I do. But if I was to say I did this and only that on Twitter and didn't go outside and make sure I do the spread love events and shit like that, like so for the past 3 years I wasn't doing spread love, I wasn't doing the work. That's the honest of it.
Facts.
Just this year I got back to doing the work because I went back and started working in my community. I started doing the work again, but those 2 years before that, I wasn't doing the work. I was trying to line my pockets, trying to get as much bread as I could. I wasn't doing the work. So I'm not even me as somebody that gives a fuck about black people and talked about black people every day on the timeline from fucking 2015 and on, because that's what I adopted. That was not me doing the work.
Facts.
I can't sit here and brag and say, oh, I talked about black people for 5 years. What the fuck is that? It don't mean shit because our communities are still fucked up. So regardless of what I talked and regardless of what I posted, our communities are still fucked up. This is my accountability. People need to have that accountability. Just because you post some shit does not mean you're fucking doing anything. That's not the work.
That's a fact. That's 100% a fact. And like even what Palm's saying is like, I'm saying what I got to say on the timeline. Like yeah, I do say what I got to say, but at the end of the day, it's a small sample size. Like I know the
Right.
amount of people that follow me,
Right.
and I know the amount of people that follow me that actually listen to what I'm talking about, or actually
Right.
see my links and shit, and are like, I'm gonna click this and try to learn something, or are actually gonna reach out to me if they don't understand something.
Mhm.
And that number is even like fucking smaller. So
Mhm.
like just what Trey is saying, like the things that I was able to do, like doing like the shit with the kids that
Right.
y'all came
Yeah,
out and
yeah.
helped us with, like that's doing the work. But I haven't done that in a fucking long time. And you also have to realize that like you can only do what you can do.
Mhm.
Like you dead ass can only do what you can do. And then like sometimes like fucking just running into shit without a fucking plan is not the idea.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people feel like just running into shit just fully emotional,
Mhm.
but like handling shit, which is a part of like even the system that we're taught like when we do shit, like emotions can't really be a part of that. And like, but like when shit gets into a crisis and everybody's holding everything in, niggas just panic and just start showing like whatever worse emotion, and they
Right.
just jump into shit, and then they don't realize the bigger picture. It's like, my nigga, we have to like unlearn like a lot of this fucking shit. Like,
Yeah.
like, and like just being accountable is just like the number one step to realize that like, all right, so I've been doing this, I've been sending out emails, I've been donating, I've been signing petitions, I'm like, you're doing the spread love, I sent bread for the spread love. So it's just like, I'm like, all right, that's doing the work. But like when shit really does open up, what's the actual work that I can do?
Right.
Like, what is my role? And I
Right.
feel like people don't think about roles. They just think about like, I gotta either be in the front line or I'm not shit. Or
Yeah. And it's like, and people don't even know. Like, all right, so I just put up that video with Kwame Ture. Maybe people seen it, they didn't. But so in terms of organizing and mobilizing, right? So when it comes to these marches, you'd be like, oh, people will brag, oh, I'm the organizer of this. No, that's not organizing. That is mobilizing. And what Kwame Ture used, he said, look, Martin Luther King was a great mobilizer, not a great organizer. So when he went somewhere, he did something, then he left. That's mobilizing. That's not organizing. Malcolm, when he went somewhere, he left a mark. That's organizing. You get what I'm saying? It's levels to this. So you can't call yourself an organizer if you're not leaving something for the community that's a resource and continuously building in that community as a resource. It takes it's so much shit to this that people like words mean things, and when all this shit popped off, everybody wanted to run to jump on the front lines. Now look at everybody in social media. They back to arguing. They back to doing the bullshit. And now everybody on social what people on social media say, oh, niggas ain't protesting how they was no more. No, it was never you people that's doing the work. For example, when people was fucking out protesting and shit like that, and shit was going down or some lit shit happened, niggas was like, I want to see more of this. Yeah, I need to see more of this. You niggas are spectators in the struggle. You are commentators. Commentators until you go outside and get to it, you are a commentator.
but even like Jay Len said, like niggas are saying that, and
they
people
still protesting outside.
Protesting.
Exactly.
What the fuck are niggas talking about? Like, what the fuck are niggas? Like, I literally just seen a video where cops was throwing in fucking gas and
DC,
flashbangs
right?
in DC.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, you're just saying this because this is like groupthink in your mind. Like, I know that a lot of people subscribe to groupthink because it's one of those things where they hear, oh, shit is lit, shit is up. They're mad hype. Shit don't be up to them because they're a small sample size that only peep Twitter, that don't realize other shit is happening, and then they become like, oh, y'all actually don't care. Look at this. Y'all not even talking about it no more. And it's like, bro, yes, your sample size is tiny. You're not even going out there to actually get the knowledge. So what are you even fucking talking about?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't want to condemn those people. I want to like, but at the same time, like I said, groupthink is crazy because niggas be stuck in groupthink. Like they really be stuck in.
They cannot get out of it. I think Twitter is Facebook is wild.
Somebody has to get condemned.
Facebook is wild. Facebook is wild. Don't get me wrong. It's mad weird opinions, but they're different. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna get different flavors. In Twitter, everybody wants everybody to say the same things the same way. And that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. It's okay to have questions. It's okay to converse. This
People don't want to
Because
lose. That's what it
we
is.
just solved that problem though. We figured that out though.
yeah.
We figured that out. Twitter is the lit one. Twitter is the lit relative. Twitter is the lit
It's the high school lunch
fucking
table,
sibling.
man.
It
is. Like,
it's
if
the cool
everyone
circle. So if
agrees with
everybody
you,
in the
it's lit.
fucking cool circle does not
Agrees with you, it's
agree
lit.
together, this cannot be the cool circle.
Yeah. Also, a fact, like, that's why canceling on Twitter is like one of the most like just only we're just talking type of things ever.
Yeah.
Because like when you can't, like, I don't know if people know what blacklisting is,
Mhm.
but like if you get blacklisted in a business, do you think niggas will write a newsletter talking about your name?
Mhm.
They would never bring your name up, my nigga. So like people will be like, oh, this person's canceled, and then talk about them for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, for 5 weeks, for a fucking year, and then like be tight that the person is still relevant. My nigga, you're talking about them still.
Yeah.
Like,
Debbie said I literally got deleted for asking a question on Facebook. Debbie, what did you ask?
what did you ask? What did you ask?
Debbie was
She
out
asked
there
some
wilding. So
She asked
if
some
I
shit.
stab 6 people, that don't mean that I'm a stabber. Do that mean I'm a stabber? Debbie, you was wilding. Keep it a band.
Be honest, Debbie. Hilarious.
But yeah, man, it's that's what frustrates me about social media the most. It's just people don't want to get out of their own heads, man. They don't want to get out of these bubbles to learn
That
more.
ego.
Do we think these are 125 million active users that read above the 4th grade level?
They can't even read 280 characters, whatever the fuck it is.
We solved the problem. We solved the fucking problem.
Yeah,
Listen to
I
me speaking.
realized that most people on Twitter, like, because, and this might be, it's not really a reach.
Debbie said it was an Antifa Boogaloo meme.
Oh my
Antifa?
god,
You down with the set?
what the hell?
Debbie, you out here wilding.
Let's go, let's go.
The big grippies. I see you, Antifa wilding.
Oh fuck!
What you saying, Colton?
I forgot.
Oh. Hey yo, all right. So let's go to the fucking NBA. I've been wanting to talk to y'all about this shit. Do y'all see what the fuck is happening, son? Everybody
Oh,
went to
niggas-
clap.
Niggas
I
is
said
getting
this
it.
earlier. I said this earlier.
It's a
Thing
wrap.
before we started recording, but I don't believe we're gonna see sports in the year 2020.
Yeah, they trying to rush back, and I don't see it happening, man.
I don't see
I
it
think it's
happening for
dumb.
none of
I
them.
think it's
Like
dumb
I
as
was saying earlier, the only sports league that's talking about any kind of form of safety is the NBA. Talking about putting them in a bubble. The NFL hasn't brought out no plan like that. They talking like they're gonna be traveling. The MLB talking like they're gonna be traveling. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the NHL already canceled their season and Major League Soccer. So only the NBA, the MLB, and the NFL are trying to get back to it because we know these are the owners with the big bread and the owners that control the real.
I think the NFL are the only ones that actually have a shot, and I think that's just due to the uniforms. They actually they gotta wear helmets so they can build helmets that they can use. You get what I'm saying?
If I'm not mistaken, those helmets are already out there and available.
Exactly.
I've seen them shit on the timeline.
So it's like the NFL has the biggest shot here. Everybody else, y'all not out there wearing masks and shit.
I don't think that's the real problem though, because the real problem is that we can't control the outside factors here. So even if we're testing these people on a daily basis and keeping them from having it or participating in the games with it, once the game is over, they got to go to the hotel rooms. They got to travel on planes. They got to deal with people who are getting in contact with other people, with their family members. Like, it's too many factors that need to be controlled for any of these niggas to actually get to play.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a fact.
Because like just simple shit. You know, you like even if they going, you basically telling people they got to quarantine again. right?
Yeah.
So even if you
All
got a
over.
wife, even if you got a wife or whatever the case may be, like just saying, like just make an example, you got a wife, she got to go and do shit. You don't know who she comes in contact with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Bro,
it's hard for people. It's gonna be almost impossible for people.
I don't,
Almost
Palm,
impossible, bro.
Palm might know, but I don't know if it was a football player or a baseball player. But that nigga just said he just had a baby. Like, how is he gonna go out and play and like come back around his wife and his kid? Like, his wife is
Yeah,
pregnant.
football player.
He said his wife is pregnant. He was like, how I'm supposed to just like play and then my wife is
My
in this
nigga,
town pregnant,
this is the
bro.
crazy shit though. We know how athletes get down across the board. All these niggas
Facts.
be having multiple kids.
Mhm.
You think I believe that you can go into each league right now and at least 7 to 10% of these niggas have pregnant wives or girlfriends.
Yeah,
Mm.
Why would I want to put my family at risk like that for no reason?
for no reason.
Right.
For a shorter season with like not even everybody, and then like even with that shit, like they're just gonna have to play hot potato with players because
Right.
like when
Just think
when
about
one
this,
nigga
right?
catch it, another nigga gotta come through and play, and then when that
Right.
nigga play with
But the
everybody,
crazy shit
somebody
though,
else gonna
this
get
is
it.
one of the most proven facts about COVID-19 is that the most transmittable time of having the virus is before you start showing any symptoms.
Mhm.
So if one nigga catches it, how you know half the team ain't caught it?
Mhm.
Half the team that
That's
just
what- that's
played ain't caught it.
What happened with Buddy
But
Hield,
just
Jabari Parker?
even thinking about the bubble that the NBA is talking about using. Each of these teams are going to be staying at hotels that are part of Disney's resort shit.
Mhm.
So you're going to tell me you're going to control every aspect of this hotel right now. You're going to
That's what they
control the workers are going to stay here too and isolate and be working from
That's what they
stay living
said.
at work. You're going that's fucking crazy.
They don't even realize that even the workers of the resort don't account for all the people that actually takes to make the NBA work, like the workers for the NBA.
Mhm.
So it's like, are y'all gonna also have them their families in the hotel? Like, what are we doing now?
It's crazy to even try to get this thing to work. It's all capitalism. Like the craziest shit I seen is that the other day was a chart on the wave or on this first wave of COVID, and almost every country has their first wave has subsided, and here in America, we won't let the first wave. The first wave is in triple overtime right now.
Yeah,
we won't ever get to. There won't ever be a second wave because the first wave will never die down. By the time the first wave probably starts dying down, we're gonna be back in flu and fucking pneumonia season, and it's gonna be right back to where we was started at. So it's just like
it's gonna be
it's too much, man. It's too much. Sports. I mean, I'm sad that we don't got no sports, man. I love sports betting. Sports betting puts a lot of money in my pockets.
Yeah,
but it gotta be what it gotta be. Like this.
Man, if you sad, think about Michael Jordan.
The crazy shit. The only sports that's eating right now are contact sports.
Yeah, that shit is also.
It is ridiculously crazy that they eating.
So wait, who you said?
But they
contact sports like boxing and UFC and shit.
Combat
sports. Got you. Yeah, they eating.
And that's crazy that they eating because they're still getting positive tests.
Yep.
Like people are still catching corona in this shit, and they're still fighting and all that shit. They're still bleeding on each other, sweating on each other, breathing on each other. It is crazy. It's crazy.
Like literally bleeding on each other. That's so.
It is fucking crazy to me, man.
But
it's crazy to me, man.
And just taking it like and looking at like people are just like, yeah, this COVID thing don't exist no more. I'm just gonna go. And it's like, all right, man.
Did you see that shit from Florida with the people like in the town hall? That shit felt like a Parks and Rec episode, bro. Like the people in the town hall talking crazy about how the shit like, oh, y'all are trying to kill people, like masks are suffocating people. We're supposed to breathe air. And I'm just like, I don't know how viruses work.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck, man. People don't give a fuck in this country as long as they get to do what they get to do. And if it kills everybody, Who gives a fuck?
First world problems, bro. That shit is way crazier than I thought it was,
Bro, niggas, son.
I didn't think
niggas,
first world problems was as
In the
crazy.
yo,
state-
bro, Americans
in the
are
state-
fucking nuts, bro.
Yes,
We're
we're crazy.
fucking
psychopaths,
nuts,
bro.
No,
Like
not
to
weird.
be on some
But
shit where it's
weird.
just like I can't go to the fucking park because there's a disease
listen,
that's
though.
killing people outside. You're fucking kidding
Listen,
me. People are really like that, and I'm
It's
like, what?
390K confirmed cases in New York State. Florida. It took us from the start to now to get here.
Mhm.
Florida is going to get here in no time.
Bro,
California is going to get here
open.
in no. They are.
Them beaches was wide ass open when we was wilding. Remember when we was like suffering? Everybody was making fun of us and on the beach. Like all them niggas was on the beach, bro. Every single person. Remember they was like, oh, it only kills old people. We don't care. We're gonna be good. That shit is
California
crazy.
is at 200K.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be at 390 before they know it, bro. They're gonna be at 400 before they know it.
They have a lot of fucking people, so yeah.
Yeah, real shit. Real shit. That shit fuck Texas, all that. So I just don't get people. I don't understand people. Like, it's nasty, man. It's nasty. What is some positive shit going on though?
Yeah. I mean, things are happening.
Oh, we got
People
Spread
are
Love.
actually-
If you watch it,
all
come out
right.
to
Let's talk about
Spread
some
love,
positivity.
spread love, spread love.
Well, spread love is what tomorrow, right?
tomorrow, 4 to 7, Kali Block. Kali Block.
Tomorrow,
Just,
facts, man.
after
Coliseum
4, walk down the Kali Block. It's only one block. You'll find us. You feel me? 9 times out of 10, once I get outside, I'm focused on being outside. That's why I do.
Or the people that can't make it, tell them where they could donate.
You could donate at the Cash App, which is Spread Love NYC, $ Spread Love NYC. If you don't have Cash App, hit me. I'll get you in contact with the person that you can send money to. I don't deal with the money for Spread Love. That's not my thing.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
organized.
listen,
I'm
man.
an organizer. That's what I do.
If you can't make it out, donate.
Word
You
up.
are helping the cause.
Facts.
You are supporting the cause.
Right.
Facts.
Make sure do something. Do
And
something.
it's not just a one-day thing. So if you donate, we're continuously doing events and food drives for different neighborhoods. If you weren't around in 2017, we went to Brooklyn, we went to Manhattan, we went to Queens.
They go everywhere.
We go everywhere. So this is not a one-time thing. So you can donate even after tomorrow, because the week after, next week, we'll be back outside on a Friday from 4 to 7. We just will release the location next week.
Nice. All right.
In
And
other good news, complaining and canceling actually seems to actually be working nowadays.
yeah,
Um,
people are doing it for the
There
right
was, like,
reasons.
mad-
or-
there was mad complaint. This is a tweet I seen just now. Like not just now, but right before we started recording. There was mad complaints for Disney to change a ride that was connected to a historically racist movie in their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty popular ride at most of their parks, Splash Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They took it down
Disney
finally. You've been talking about this for a long
and
time.
they are revamping Splash Mountain, which was based on a movie in Disney's catalog called Song of the South, which is a outlandishly racist movie for a company like Disney.
For a company like
They
Disney, have you ever met Walt Disney?
I don't even. I mean, we're gonna talk about that off the air.
Yeah, got it.
They revamping the ride. They're not like breaking it down, and they revamping the ride, and they're using Princess and the Frog. So they giving people double because Princess and the Frog
Yeah, they
features
doubling up.
Disney's only black princess. Well, I think that's like their first one though. I think that's just the first one. I think there's another one now, but they first black princess. So she get her own ride and shit. That's lit. It's lit.
Fire.
Kids get to go to, black kids get to go to Disney World and see a ride and
black
attraction
princess.
based on a
On
black
that.
princess. That's
Her name is Tiana. I think her name is Tiana.
I think so.
Hopefully.
I can't remember the movie.
Oh man, fuck that up. But
Yo,
yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
heard,
dope as fuck, man. That's dope as fuck.
Have y'all heard Tiana Taylor's album?
No, but I heard it's really good from everybody I've heard from.
I heard it was good, and I heard couple people complaining about it.
It's too long. It's way too long. Too many songs.
How much? Shit?
Over 11 songs is a lot. Maybe 14, 15, 21 to 23 to 25 songs is a
Yeah, you're going too
lot.
far. You're going too
Oh
far.
yeah,
It's
A
2020.
lot.
so she dropped like 2 projects at once, basically.
Hot take though. Hot take. All right, you know how Tiana didn't really like her last album, right? But
Mhm.
on that last album, she has 3 or 4 that just stood the test of time that people really fucked with heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I think she missed out on that input on this album, and it's good music. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. There's not going to be. I don't see one of those joints that's just going to be the joint. Like,
Because there's so
I
many
understand.
songs.
it's
the
so
same size,
many
gigantic.
songs, right? It's so
I
many
get what you're
songs.
saying.
So
Like,
I'm
because,
thinking,
like,
not
I
that
feel
she
like when
needs
albums-
Kanye, like not that she needs Kanye to make a dope album, but the input he had kind of created timeless songs. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Kanye was kind of right about the short format, especially when it comes to like, because I had Pusha T's album, right? 6 songs. I was kind of tight about it at first, but now that I listen to it again, I just be like, yo, that shit is perfect. It makes sense. Like, I like all these songs. Like, I'm not skipping any of these songs. So it's just like, I get it. Like, it's harder for
right.
singles to stick when you have like 24 different songs or 23 different songs.
Plus, most people are not gonna listen intently to 20 songs.
Yeah, we already talked about how people's attention spans be.
So for that, and it's more for streams and numbers. I get it, but like, I think like I'll take 4 of the songs on Tiana Taylor's album over this album in general. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think it's like 6 or 7 songs that really, really bang. It's not that the music
Commander.
sucks. It's fire and it flows, but it's like, yo, it's not one that really pops off.
Not for you. Commander Flame said they all work.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, I get
I
it,
didn't listen to it though, but I get what you're saying.
but look, there's like,
I got the wrong.
Bless you.
let me explain. There's 21 sevens. There's like 23. If you wanted to rank them 1 out of 10, there's 23 sevens. How do you pick the hit out of that?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Right? We looking for that song that's a 9 and a 10. I'm not saying the songs.
I gotta listen to it. That's a lot of songs though. That's a lot of songs.
Bro.
I ain't listening to that much songs. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's a lot of fucking
I love
songs.
Tiana
Like, that's
Taylor,
like when
so
Chris
I'm
Brown
always
dropped
gonna listen to Tiana.
that 30 shit album, that 30 track album. I was like, why?
Oh, the 97 track album too. That shit.
I was like, Jesus, man. Even though everybody was like, that shit was hot,
Boy,
a lot of them didn't stick.
I don't care.
Like you were saying,
yeah.
Yo, I don't care.
it was like too many songs that everybody liked, but like you got to share them between all these different songs, and like a lot of them sound. Well, I'm not saying this happens to Tiana, but like with Chris Brown, like I'm not saying all his songs sound the same, but when he puts out an album with 37 tracks, if any artist puts out an album with 37 tracks, a lot of them is gonna sound the same.
Yeah.
And guess what I'm gonna tell him? I don't care. I don't want to hear it.
Yo, like she got this "Come Back to Me" joint. That shit's fire. "Wake Up Love" is fire. "Low Key" is fire. I hate she got Quavo. I don't think Quavo does good on R&B songs. Sorry, not sorry.
What are you sorry for? He should be
Morning is
trapping.
Cool. Killer is just okay. I thought it would be a little bit better, being that she had DeVito on it, but it's cool. "Shoot It Up" is fire. We Got Love, the Lauryn Hill shit, fire. She got
I gotta listen to her shit,
Lauryn
bro.
Hill samples.
Damn, that
She got
sounds good.
How You Want It is fire. She got a bunch of different shit on here that's just fire, but it's not the ones.
I get
You know
what you're
what I'm
saying, but hopefully one of them become the ones, man. Hopefully one of them. We gotta figure out which one is the one, bro.
So we can
gotta
push it. So we can push it. I would say if any one of them is the ones, "Come Back to Me" is the ones.
All right, we're gonna push that one. That's the one.
Because it got Junie on it, and I think like that shit just sound fire.
All right, that's the one. That's the one. I'm about to listen to it right
Junie
after
and
this.
Ross. It got Junie and Ross on it. Her daughter Junie, like her daughter's singing on it, and it sounds fucking amazing.
Oh,
it sounds great.
It's lit.
It
It's
sounds
lit.
great. I think that's the one. If there's any of them, definitely.
All right,
So
bet.
I'm fucking.
Any other topics, or are we good?
Nah, we good, man. Go listen to that Chef G album. I think Chef G album is fire.
Facts. Listen to A Boogie if y'all like A Boogie.
Nah. We don't promote A Boogie. We don't.
What happened with A Boogie?
Nah, fuck.
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't really listen to him, but like,
I don't listen to A Boogie. I'm not gonna listen to A
I've been
Boogie.
listening to a lot of Lil Baby, man.
I don't
Lil Baby and Lil Doug. And Doug,
That nigga,
Doug,
nah. I mean
Lil Baby
that song good. I like it, but
that song
this
good.
Lil Baby, I don't like that.
Lil Baby, yeah, Lil Baby, fucking nice. Oh, his woke song is like
Yeah, that
a
Black
very
Lives Matter
good
shit, that shit
woke
good.
song.
Yeah, that shit cool.
Very good
Good,
woke
good song.
song.
Good song. Good song.
What
I
else?
ain't know he had that
Who
kind of.
else?
I ain't know he had that kind of range. I ain't know he had that kind of range.
Y'all should watch the Harley Quinn cartoon. That shit mad funny. The Harley Quinn cartoon. Yo,
Killing
Trey,
black people
I
round.
swear to
Right.
God, Trey, you will love the Harley Quinn cartoon because they shit on everyone in DC. Like
let's
so
end the fucking show.
crazy. What you said?
I said let's end the fucking show.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. I'll end it with a final hate. I tweeted it, so it's not really hate. It's just let's take this moving in another direction for the most part, because I was saying like we use Black Lives Matter as the overarching title to the struggle, and I think it sells us so short from what we actually need, which is power, resources, opportunities. I think mattering is like, okay, we want to matter, that's cool, but it's actually a regression on the politics that we were fighting for before. And to me, that's the problem more so, because I think we're trying to recreate the wheel, and it's so confusing because like, no, they all lives matter now, all Black Lives Matter. So this has been perverted so much at this point. We need to go back to the roots, which is Black Power, which cannot be perverted. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think we need to take this movement into a Black Power movement, because in Black Power you have a defined movement. You want power. Now it's on us to define what kind of power we want. In matter, we're trying to figure out what kind of matter we want. You get what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
They say, okay, all right, guys, you matter. What do we get?
What comes next?
What
Nah,
comes
yeah, I
next?
feel you.
We need some equity, man.
Exactly.
Black lives need equity.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's my final hate, man. Final hate.
Yeah, I don't have fun with it.
Stop playing with Breonna Taylor name.
Word.
Facts.
Word.
Also, that's my final hate.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Chad.
Hey.
Hey.
Suck you my nuts.
Peace out, y'all.